Part 5, Chapter 5, The Sealing.
After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth, so that no wind would blow on the earth, or on the sea, or on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the rising of the sun, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to harm the earth and the sea, saying, Do not harm the earth, or the sea, or the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, 144,000, sealed out of all the tribes of the children of Israel. After this I looked, and behold, a great multitude, which no man could number, of every nation, and kindred, and people, and tongue, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palm branches in their hands. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth on the throne, and to the Lamb. Revelation 7:1-4.
Revelation, the Christian Church through the ages. In the 5th prophetic section, Jesus takes John into the holy place of the heavenly sanctuary, Revelation 4-5. There he's shown the dramatic future of the Christian Church, Revelation 6, until God's people are sealed at the end of time, Revelation 7. This narrative was already revealed to John through the messages Jesus gave to the 7 churches in the Roman province of Asia: Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea, Revelation 2-3. These messages, intended for the literal churches in John's day, also represent 7 distinct periods of the Christian era, detailing the church's challenges and triumphs in each, Revelation 1:19. It's no coincidence that Jesus introduced himself to John as the one who sustains the light of these 7 churches or lampstands, reminiscent of the 7 lampstands in the holy place, Revelation 1:13, 16, 20.
And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. Revelation 4:5.
This refers to the Spirit of God the Father, whom John sees seated on the throne.
And behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardius stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like an emerald. Revelation 4:2-3.
Around the throne are 24 other thrones where John sees elders standing. These elders are resurrected with Jesus as the first fruits of the spiritual harvest, Revelation 4:4 cf. Matthew 27:50-53, Leviticus 23:10-11. They are faithful men of God, martyrs from ancient times, who sympathize with God's people on earth and serve as a pledge for the great harvest of resurrected righteous ones at Jesus' second coming, 1 Corinthians 15:23. The sea of glass before the throne, Revelation 4:6, is where those who will participate in the great exodus from spiritual Egypt on earth will stand. This exodus began with Christ's death, but will culminate in the appearance of the 144,000 sealed with the Father's true character, Luke 9:30-31 ekef. Revelation 15:2-4, 14:1, 7:1-4. They too will be redeemed as first fruits, but will not experience death, Revelation 14:4b. The 4 cherubim and the Gospels. In the midst of the throne and surrounding it, John sees 4 cherubim who play a leading role in human history, Revelation 6:1, 3, 5, 7 cf. Ezekiel 1:5-27, 9:3a.
The first living creature was like a lion, the second living creature was like a calf, the third living creature had a face like a man, and the 4th living creature was like a flying eagle. Revelation 4:7.
These figures represent both Christ's merits, by which he will guide his people through the tumultuous events of the first 4 seals, and God's adaptation and merciful condescension to his people's needs during times of apostasy. Similarly, the 4 Gospels are tailored to all types of people. Matthew writes to the Jews, descendants of Noah's son Shem, symbolized by the lion. Mark writes to the servant of servants, Ham, symbolized by the ox. Luke writes to the Greeks, descended from Japheth, represented by the human face of reason and humanism. John elevates his readers through the high divine flight and perspective of the eagle. Here are the thoughts of two commentators on this subject.
The lion represents the church in the days of the apostles, when they went forth bold as lions, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the world. The ox represents the church in a state of subjection and persecution under the Roman emperors Nero, Domitian, and others, when they were delivered up to slaughter and were slaves to the Roman power. The face of a man signifies the state under which the church lived in the days of Constantine and his successors, when the kingdoms of the world, represented in prophecy as beasts, were more or less under the control of the church and its ambitious clergy, as beasts are under the power of man. And when the church united with the state and became haughty, imperious, and proud, like man. The face of the eagle represents the church in the state, when Antichrist began to persecute and devour the true children of God, and her divine master gave her 2 eagle's wings, that she might fly into the wilderness, where she should be nourished for 1,260 days, or a time, times, and half a time. This gives us the 4 principal features of the church as it appeared to the world after its establishment on the earth. Works of William Miller, Volume 1, page 122, paragraph 1. In his life on earth, Christ combines these 4 natures. He is the Lion of the tribe of Judah, of whom it is prophesied, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come." As lawgiver and ruler, Christ represents the kingly nature of the Father. In the Gospels, Matthew begins with a genealogy showing Christ's right to the throne of David. Mark, in his account of the life of Christ, presents the servant side. The second person was that of the calf, or ox, the servant of man. Christ is both the slain lamb and the priest who serves in the sanctuary. He bore the sins of the world in his body upon the cross, and the weight crushed him to death. Every animal under its burden, every overburdened child of God, is a reminder of Christ becoming the servant of men. The Gospel of Luke portrays the humanity of the Son, giving the account of that part of his life's work which most strongly engages the mind of man. The keen eye of the flying eagle is taken to represent the searching gaze of him whose eyes, like a flame of fire, run to and fro through the whole earth to slay them whose heart is perfect toward him. Among the various writers, the beloved disciple John saw the character of Christ portrayed as the glorious Word, equal with the Father in power and glory. John portrays the divine character more fully than any other writer. This is represented by the eagle flying in the sky. Stephen Haskell, The Story of the Prophet on Patmos, page 98, paragraph 2.
The 7 seals in church history. The first 4 seals are similarly depicted by 4 different horsemen. Parallel to the history of the church, as conveyed in the messages to the 7 churches, the seals unfold historically as follows. Seal. Church and years, meaning
1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures say as with a voice of thunder, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering, and to conquer. Revelation 6, 1-2.
Ephesus, 33 to 100 AD, Revelation 2, 1-7. The pure apostolic church sets out to conquer, but a spirit of condemnation stifles its first love.
2. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, "Come and see." And another horse went out, a red one, and power was given to him that sat on it to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Revelation 6:3-4.
Smyrna, 100 to 313 AD, Revelation 2, 8-11. Persecutions and bloodshed are permitted, restraining spiritual decline. The blood of martyrs becomes the seed for the germination of more believers.
3. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a black horse, And he that sat on him had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and hurt not the oil and the wine. Revelation 6:5-6.
Pergamum, 313 to 538 AD, Revelation 2:12 to 17. Instead of entering the promised land, the church allows an enemy into its midst, leading to idolatry and spiritual adultery.
4. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with pestilence, and by the beasts of the earth. Revelation 6:7-8.
Thyatira, 538 to 1798 AD, Revelation 2:18 to 29. Moral decay during the union of church Jezebel and state Ahab. Elijah announced a 3.5 symbolic year period of spiritual drought, 1 Kings 17 to 19 Seth. Luke 4:25.
5. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And there was given unto every one of them a white robe, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet a little season, until the number of their fellow servants and brethren that should be slain as they were should be fulfilled. Revelation 6:9-11.
Sardis, 1798 to 1844 AD, Revelation 3:1-6. The Protestant Reformation remains unfinished. Therefore, only a few will follow Christ in faith into the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary in the coming period, seeking blessing, not vengeance for their persecutors.
6. And I saw when he had opened the 6th seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the whole moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled up, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the captains, and the rich, and the strong, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens, and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Revelation 6:12-17.
Philadelphia, 1844 to 1856 AD, Revelation 3:7-13. The Lisbon earthquake, 1755, the Dark Day, 1780, and the Great Fall of Stars, 1833, are signs of Protestantism's decline and the approaching Advent. On October 22nd, 1844, Christ entered the Holy of Holies of the heavenly sanctuary, spiritually followed by Adventists.
7. And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. Revelation 8:1.
Laodicea, 1856, present, Revelation 3:14-22. The overcomers of Laodicea are sealed with the true character of God. The condemnatory spirit that developed in the early apostolic church significantly delayed believers' deeper understanding of God's character, which would have prepared them to become heirs of the Son of God. This seed of condemnation fully matured and manifested itself in the third period, with its deadly fruits afflicting humanity for nearly 2 millennia. While the Reformation began promisingly, the contentment of its leaders with the light they received hindered further progress. It wasn't until the first half of the 19th century that a people emerged who responded to the spirit of Elijah and advanced to the next stage of knowing God. Unfortunately, even the zeal of this latter people is now showing signs of spiritual indifference and a cold, legalistic spirit. The final stage presents the greatest challenge, as the spiritual decline is at its lowest, yet the call is the highest. The true witness urges all Laodiceans to embrace his victory and be sealed with the true character of his Father.